Welcome to Cory's Stories. Are you ready to meditate with Cory?
Hi friend, don't forget to subscribe, say that you like the video, and also press the bell so that you get notifications every time I make a new video. If you love Heidi, Cherry, and VAYA, or Tucker and Leo stories, you can now get exclusive stories on my Patreon account. Go to the links below the video and you can join Heidi, Cherry, and VAYA Club or the Tucker and Leo Club and get exclusive stories with your names in them. I love you all so much. Enjoy the story. Bye, friend.
Are you ready to meditate with Cory? Make sure that you're all comfortable and warm and snug in your bed, that the light is just right in your room so you can relax your body and let go of your busy day. Corriannda was up to her normal magic. The magic that she was doing seemed so simple. It was one of those types of spells that you hear about all the time, but most people just kind of think, oh yeah, whatever. Corriannda was using the simple ingredients of gratitude to manifest things into her life. It's a very common known fact amongst all witches and wizards that if you put your thoughts on being really grateful for something, your whole body starts to vibrate with the energy of gratitude. Of course, this is invisible. It's not like Corriannda was walking around with her body vibrating everywhere. You don't notice that people vibrate, that their energy makes them vibrate in a certain frequency. But that's what happens to all of us. We're all walking around as if we're playing different radio stations. Corriannda knew that she had a particular song that she played that was her song, her radio station. But she also knew that everyone else on the planet had a radio station and they played a song and they vibrated in a different frequency depending on their song. Think of it like this. Some people are like classical music. They sound like a piano. Joyful, pretty, calm, consistently soothing and attractive, you could say, whereas other people may sound like a trumpet, or maybe they sound like a drum, and their radio station sounds like a heavy metal radio station versus someone who sounds like classical music. Everybody's energy and vibration is different. But the magic that Corriannda was using was tuning in her radio station to be like a song full of gratitude. Because then what happens is the universe hears your radio station and magically sends back to you things to be grateful for. When you're walking around all grateful all the time, like, oh, I'm so happy, I'm so lucky, I'm so grateful, oh my gosh, I appreciate that so much. with that kind of frequency, that's how you vibrate. That's what your song sounds like. Then the universe says, oh wow, this person is so abundant in things. They're constantly grateful. Let's send more things for them to be abundant in. So it's a well-known magical fact that if you practice gratitude and you're truly, honestly, really, not pretending, really, honestly, truly grateful for everything you already have, or for the little gifts that come to you, you will get more of what you're grateful for. That's just the magic. Corriannda had been grateful for nice weather. Sounds pretty boring and simple, right? But you don't really appreciate a nice sunny day until you've had lots and lots of cold, cloudy, rainy, snowy days. Then you're like, oh my gosh, I wish it was summer. Corriannda loved to walk outside in nature. She did lots of her spells and magic in her mind out there as she walked. And if it's raining and it's cold and it's miserable outside, she didn't get to do that very much. So she decided to practice her gratitude spell by thinking about how grateful she was that it was a lovely day. So sunny, perfect conditions to go out and walk in nature. She noticed that when she did this, the next day would be sunny, and the next day would be sunny. She would have so many sunny, great, perfect days for walking. She decided to try her gratitude magic in finding all the perfect flowers and herbs that she could find out on her walk that she could use in her spells. Lots of the flowers she would dry in books. Sometimes she would make pictures of them because they were so pretty, and other times she would grind the petals down into a powder. Sometimes, if they were a really cool, beautiful, bright, vibrant colour, she would add water to the powder and paint with those petals. And then other times, if they were edible, she would put the petals that she dried and ground into a powder into a capsule, and she could eat them. And they would give her certain properties, like maybe they made her sleep better, maybe they made her feel nice and calm, maybe the herbs helped her to be more confident. Whatever the type of flower it was that she could eat. You would never do that with flowers that you can't eat, of course. And luckily, Corriannda had lots of books with all of that information in it. The different herbs and what was good for you and what ailments you could use them for and all of that wonderful stuff. It was like being a witch with nature. She was very good at that, using plants and herbs and flowers to make potions and magical spells. Now she knew, for instance, that if she saw rose bushes, she could pick the roses. She would dry the flowers. She would save the petals and grind them. And then, sometimes she would just crush them and make tea from the rose petals. That would always make her feel like she was in love. Roses have a very loving, powerful, very high frequency. And if you use them in spells, they're always connected to being in love or falling in love or opening your heart so that you can feel love and receive love. One day she was so grateful that she found this particular rose bush on her walk that she'd never noticed before. She repeated over and over again, "Oh, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for this wonderful rose bush. Oh my goodness, I do appreciate it so much." And she was being very honest, she did. But what was interesting about the magic of this gratitude spell was that after that, she noticed there were rose bushes everywhere. Had they been there all the time? Who knows? But what was real was that they were now in her reality. Rose bushes everywhere. She had an abundance of rose petals, which then made her able to really stock up on all of the petals and the different things that she could do with them in her potions. Now this one sounds crazy because you would think everyone liked their face. But sometimes Corriannda had an issue with her face. She thought maybe she was supposed to look more like this, or more like that, or more like that picture that she saw, or more like that lady that she knows, or more like that girl. Sometimes she realized that she focused so much on everyone else's beauty that she didn't see her own. She decided she was going to change that. She was going to use the gratitude spell just on her face. So for days and days and days, she practiced every time she looked in the mirror, when she was washing her face or brushing her teeth or cleaning off her eyes or blowing her nose, whatever she did. And it involved her looking at herself in the mirror. She did it from a place of complete and truthful gratitude. I'm so glad I have my face. I'm so glad that these are my eyes. So grateful that that's my chin, that those are my cheeks, and that's my forehead. I'm so grateful for my freckles. Corriannda had freckles. I'm so grateful for that little scar on the top of my lip from that time when I had chicken pox. I'm so grateful. And she went on and on and on about all of the different things that she could appreciate about her beautiful face. Now, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And what that means is, if you think something is beautiful, then it's beautiful. It's not about whether it's supermodel beautiful, or Instagram famous beautiful, or the most popular girl or boy in school beautiful. It's about what you think is beautiful. And what you think is beautiful could be very, very different from what your friend thinks is beautiful, or what your mum thinks is beautiful, or your dad. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That means what you think is beautiful is therefore beautiful. Corriannda decided that her face was beautiful. And the more that she was grateful for the way that it looked, every day when she looked at herself and she kept practicing this magic, she started to see herself in a different light. She really did like her nose. She really did like her face. She really was grateful for everything about her face. And the more and more she felt like that, the more and more she saw her beauty. Her spell of gratitude was working. There are so many ways that Corriannda wrote down in a list from 1 to bazillion of how many things she could be grateful for in her life. So many ways to practice this magical trick. Gratitude attracts more of whatever you're grateful for. You should try it. It really does work. And also, a side note, an extra bonus. When you're grateful, you feel all happy and like butterfly-y and just light inside. You feel good. Gratitude makes you feel good because it's a really happy song. It's like you're playing a happy song inside of your body all the time. When you're angry, that's a different song, right? Doesn't feel so nice. But gratitude would be like listening to a radio station that plays the harp all day long. The most beautiful, angelic, relaxing, calming music you've ever heard. It sounds pretty darn cool to me. The end.